on Luka's behalf. I mean, there's no way to sit there and give him grace on that one. If you're on the court and you're trying, you got to try to at least try to get there. Now, if you're in pain and all that, you try to get there, maybe you wince, show a little like, oh, hold on, that hurt a little bit, whatever you got to do, but you can't sit there and just show lack of effort. You can't do that. And then we get to the last part, and the last part is where we're really jumping off at. And you're always getting on the refs. You're always arguing calls. You're saying that you don't get calls. A lot of his fouls were lazy. Luka likes to go for steals because he's not the quickest guy, but he is pretty long and he's thick. So he feels if you bounce off of him and your handle doesn't seem to be as good as he think it should be, he'll stick his hand in the cookie jar and pick up silly fouls. He's done it this whole series. This entire series he's done it, and it caught up with him in game 3. He had a bunch of them. He had a bunch of silly fouls. There was one where I think El-Amin Hassan of the DraftKings network asked this question of Jason Kidd, but there was a play in the game where Jaylen Brown and Luka Doncic were kind of tussling back and forth. It looked like Jaylen hooked him. They called the foul on Luka, and then said to Jason Kidd, why did you not maybe challenge that one since it was his 5th foul? And then Jason Kidd, because it's 3-0 and this looks a little bit embarrassing for him, but it's not, got a little ornery, which I understand. He's a competitor. This sucks to be down 3-0. But there were just silly fouls, and then the last one you just can't do, because here's the thing: if you're going to argue every call or every play or non-call or whatever the case may be, what's going to happen is, do you really believe that you're going to get benefit of the doubt? Now, Windhorst went on ESPN and said that everyone has what everyone has known is that the constant badgering and complaining to the refs is intolerable, not only to his teammates but to the front office, to the coaching staff, and even in his circles. Here it is, Dallas Maverick fans. Here's the price of genius. You have a very temperamental young man who has just been uber successful, but this is what he's gonna do. Oh, and by the way, that money signal thing that he did at the ref at the end, where he's getting kicked out, that was uncalled for. That was like some real, like, dog, you weren't playing well, man. Like, it's not them all the time. That brings me to our question of the day. Luka has been doing this since he got into the league. There were times where I slowed down a little bit. He's made fun of it, but Luka Doncic, to me, is the Karen on the court. Now, he's more, I would say, suburban Karen, not to be confused with lower Manhattan or down south Karens. Okay, that's a different type of Karen as far as that's concerned. So Luka Doncic is not a lower Manhattan Karen. He's not a southern Karen. He's like your standard type of Karen. Every call, the scowl, the expecting call when he is in the wrong. What did I do? Oh, you're persecuting me. These sound like Karenisms. If you're going to complain all the time, I think we might have to change your name to Karen Luka Doncic, or just Karen Doncic. Now, the whining, the pouting, the injustice on the podium, do better. You're telling people to do better? What, because you're a superstar? You could try not fouling. You could do that. That might be something to do. But these things pop up, and these get me to start thinking that these are Karen behaviors. These are Karen-ish type actions. So I looked it up. So here is the actual definition of a Karen, or the Karen slang is concerned. So Karen is a slang term used to refer to a middle-class white American woman who is perceived as entitled or excessively demanding. So if you change middle class to wealthy, and you change white American woman to young Slovenian, if you said rich young Slovenian who is perceived to be entitled or excessively demanding, there's your definition. So I believe that Frontrunner Podcast Collective has just found the first NBA version of Karen. So congratulations to Luka Doncic breaking barriers in the NBA Finals. You are Karen.